Lamplight Audiobooks presents Treasured Grace by Tracie Peterson, narrated by Stephanie Cozart.
Chapter 1. Oregon Trail, late October 1847. So what do you plan to do now that he's dead? Grace Flanagan Martindale thought of the trailside grave where her husband, the Right Reverend T.S. Martindale, had been buried. The simple burial site, not even 200 yards away, was nothing like the pompous, pretentious man it held. There wasn't even a proper marker, and that alone would no doubt have the man turning in fits of outrage. I don't know. Grace looked at the woman who had become her friend on their travels west. I honestly don't. She shrugged. But then I wasn't at all sure what I was going to do when we reached Oregon City either. Eletta Browning grew thoughtful. At 25 years old, the petite, sandy-haired woman had been a wealth of information regarding the trail. She and her husband had read countless letters and articles created for missionaries regarding Oregon country. We're supposed to make the Whitman mission by Friday, Eletta finally said. As I understand it, Dr. Whitman and his wife often take in travelers from the wagon trains, at least for the winter. You could probably stay with them. Yes, the wagon master mentioned it. We've become friends through correspondence, so Isaac will no doubt put in a good word for you and your sisters. Grace cast a glance outside the tent opening. Her sisters were speaking to their friends in hushed whispers. Their brother-in-law hadn't been the only one buried that day, and the spirit of the camp remained sober at the nearness of death. However, Grace knew her sisters were relieved that the Right Reverend had passed on to his glory. No doubt he was even now instructing God as to how heaven should be run. I suppose it might be wise to stay if the Whitmans will have us. Grace considered the few choices available to her. I know the girls are exhausted. Mercy especially. She's nothing but skin and bones, and she was already so small for her age. It's been a hard trip. We've all had our share of problems. I might have lost my dear Isaac to cholera had it not been for you. Eletta choked on the words and then regained control of her emotions.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?